Well, hello there. Another day. Yep, survived the night. Not that I was in danger of not surviving, but I was in danger of getting pretty darn cold. So that cabin was well placed for me, and it was real nice. That wood stove, I got to build me a nice fire. I sure miss fire pit. And yeah, I kept it going all night. I put enough wood in so that it would burn out before morning because I didn't want to stick around and wait for it to burn out or try to put it out. So, but it was cool. The stove was cool by the time I left this morning. So all the wood burned out, but I kept it was a nice warm cabin. I made sure of that. So thankful to those guys the snow jammers who maintain that cabin. And in fact, I met them. They were there to build an addition, a wood shed to put the wood in, keep it dry. So they were there bright and early. And I guess they just do it on their own time. It's their hobby or whatever, which is super nice. There's about 5 of them building a shed. I'm glad they were there actually. They would maybe get out of bed or maybe get going. So anyway, yeah, it's cold and windy. It's not like it's freezing. It's in the 50. It's 50 probably, but it's windy and damp. And the biggest problem is this is my analysis, is that my tent is a single dwell tent, which I guess is not good for condensation. So I don't know. But my quilt gets wet at night. Especially, sleeping in the clouds. I don't see how anybody's would not get wet, but mine gets pretty soaked. And it's a down quilt, and down when wet is like a wet mop. So, although it's treated with some kind of hydrophobic something or another to help it not get wet, so it's actually not like it's completely soaked, but it's wet and it's not good. I couldn't sleep with it. It would not keep me warm. So yesterday I did find enough wind to air dry it mostly, but I was really worried last night what I was going to do. So I had some plans to either sleep during the day for a few hours and then hike all night, or just hike all night. I've got some caffeine I could keep me going, but I didn't really want to do that either. And so the cabin was the perfect solution. It was in the right spot. When I finally realized that it was 8 miles away, I was like, oh, even without I didn't know that it had a wood stove. A cabin, a shelter. That's all I needed. So the wood stove was just a cherry on top, which is really nice. Really nice. So anyway, that leaves me about 50 miles actually a little less than 50 miles from Snoqualmie Pass, which is my next stop. And I don't think I'm worried that the same thing's going to happen because of my tent and my sleeping bag and these conditions, that I'm still going to get, it's going to get wetted out, my sleeping bag, my sleeping quilt. But it's dry now, so I'll at least get one good night of sleep. And if I get a lot of miles today, I can have one good night of sleep and then, power through if I have to walk 30 miles or 25 miles, whatever, the next day to avoid having to set up camp with a wet tent. So I think I'm okay. I am okay, but that's the plan. I'm just going to see how many miles I can get today. I don't know really how much elevation I have to gain, but and I'm not getting early starts because it's cold and wet and damp and dark, and the days are shorter and colder, so I can't get, I need to be in camp by 6:30 because it gets cold and dark early. So anyway, that's the good news. The other fun addition to this is I strained my back a little bit a day or two ago. Makes it hard to sit up or get in my tent or tie my shoes, blah blah blah, and my knee is starting to hurt again. I'm falling apart. So, and the cold weather doesn't help, but I'm okay. Once I get warmed up, I'm okay. And walking doesn't hurt my back. It's just those things of like bending over and whatever. So I know I just complain. But the realization is that this trip is almost over. So I'm still trying to enjoy what's left, even if I'm cold. Try to keep my fingers warm. And right now I'm standing in a spot where the sun is trying to come out. I can see a little bit of shadows, but you know, it's all overcast. I don't think the sun's gonna make a long appearance today, but at least it's better than it was yesterday. I can tell it's a little bit warmer, but it's windy up here. So what else do you guys not want to know? Wish you were here? No. All right, that's it for now. I'm gonna move on up the road and see how many miles I can get today. 20 plus would be good. 25 would be great, but I got too late of a start, so I will talk to you. Yeah, you later. Oh yeah, it just occurred to me. I think it just occurred to me. It may have occurred to me before, but I'm not sure I have mentioned it yet. But there was a time, a long time ago, months ago, when I was in the desert of Southern California, just miserable with heat and lack of water and long days. Or the time would come when I would say, I sure miss the desert. That time has come. Anyway, I think that's funny. I might have even said that on video a long time ago, I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, I sure could use a little bit of that Southern Cal desert right now. So anyway, that's the way it goes. I'm fine. Don't nobody worry. Don't anybody worry. Nobody please worry. Whatever. I hope when this thing's all done, my words come back to me. Because right now, it seems like maybe it's because I'm on camera, I don't know, but I just fumble, stumble, whatever. Bye. That's a pretty nice view. Don't really have time to stop and view it, so I'll record it. Ooh, what's that last step? It's a doozy. So, okay, gotta keep on moving. Oh, hello there, all you people. Oh, yeah, well, I haven't had much time to blabber today because I'm on a 25-mile mission to get into the town of Snoqualmie Pass. Yeah, that's pretty back there, huh? All the greens. Try to get to Snoqualmie Pass. It's 2:30. I got 11 miles to go, so it looks like I'll make it, but oh my gosh, am I tired. I didn't sleep last night. It's cold, wet. So I got to get to town and fix myself. So anyway, it's a long day, but a couple miles back, I was filling my water bottle and I heard 3 gunshots. They were pretty close. Kapow, kapow, kapow. I was like, well, like I mentioned before, it's bow season for elk and bear. So I was trying to figure out what the rationale for shooting a weapon, shooting a gun this time of year is. At first I thought maybe, the hunter was dispatching a wounded elk. But if that's the case, his marksmanship is worse than his archery. He shouldn't take 3 shots to put down a wounded elk. So then I thought, well, maybe the elk was wounded and charged him. That seems to make the most sense. But I was going to ask any hunter, if I come across another hunter, what they think about that. So, or it may just be okay to have guns and shoot at stuff as long as you're not hunting. I don't know. And I don't know if it was a sidearm or long rifle, whatever. I don't know guns, but it's probably a. I mean, I've seen some hunters with. They probably all have their sidearms with them. I've seen some that had them, so they probably all do. But or it could have been protection from a cat, wildcat, whatever you call them, cougars. And it could be lots of things. Anyway, I don't have much else to tell you other than I'm completely worn out. And I got, I think, one more big climb today. Oh, but right now I get to start a mile downhill, so I'm going to take advantage of that. And I shouldn't be wasting time right now, but I wanted to record my thoughts and show you pretty pictures. If I wasn't in it, there. And this, I think this is. So anyway, wish me luck. I'm on my way to Snoqualmie Pass and hiking today as if it were my last, because you never know.